because it's very interesting, because I did a tape called More Science and Necronomicon. And lo and behold, every now and then when you do something, something will come true. I did this particular tape, and I showed where the whole Grail mystery and all of this particular thing, the tarot cards, the runes, and all that stuff was brought up by the Moors. All this stuff that these people are practicing. Green magic, Wicca, and all different things. But all of a sudden, every now and then after I did the tape back in 96, something was 96, I think it was late 96, or the beginning of 97, every now and then something will come in and validate what you're talking about. Now here's a book that just came out this summer. Everything is Under Control by Robert Anton Wilson. Now Robert Anton Wilson is in fact one of the first original researchers into what is called the Illuminati or the New World Order. By 1990, you got the second version, which is your boy Bill Cooper, which is these Christians. Robert Anton Wilson, who was a part of Crowley's OTO, and who's been writing these books since the early 70s. Might I add that is a part of the Illuminati also. But the key is this person is the genuine article. Everything is Under Control is his latest book, because Robert Anton wrote several books in the 70s and in the early 80s on the Illuminati. Mask of the Illuminati, famous Illuminati trilogies, but they were always in story form, where he literally took history and encoded it right into the actual novel. And he did this because at that particular time, a lot of books was being suppressed when you just straight out wrote about it. And at that time, they hadn't cloned everybody in the United States. We got to get into a lot of things tonight. So therefore, the people would wake up. So at that time, they had to literally make it into science fiction. So at that particular, basically written novel, so therefore, if you come up to him, they say, well, Robert Anton Wilson is a novelist. You see. So he would quote stuff, but even he wrote the book Luminoids with Neil Wilgus in 1978. But one of his greatest books is The Cosmic Trigger, 1978. Now, this is the key. So all of the Bill Cook and all that shit is basically Christian-based. So the Christians got into the New World Order thing. Will lead you astray. So when Harper and Rowe wanted to get the real deal, they went to the master of it, which is the occult side, which is Robert Anton Wilson. His new book, Everything is Under Control, Conspiracies, Cults, and Cover-Up. This is a must-have. So the real deal shit about the Illuminati you'll find in this. You see. But even he works for the Illuminati. You see. Now, every woman should read his book, and every man, basically, because we can't say that because men need to experience the feminine side, too. But every woman should read his book, Ishtar Rising. How the great goddess went to hell and what you going to do now she's rising back up. What's the name? Give me the book. You got the book? Or you left it at Ishtar Rising. And in that book they talk about, because you're going to find in the Greek mythology, that Hercules, in order to rise up, he has to go, and then he's given 2 golden apples. And and you've always seen this symbol of spirit. You'll see this symbol in all esoteric doctrine. Well, the golden apple is 2 of these. I want to get them damn near the same size. And 2 of these, in actuality, come equipped with every woman, because this is the actual breast. You see. So this particular book is going into some real scientific things. Also, it's picking apart different types of males and how this male pathology. You got several types of males. One is anal. One is, there's different males, and there's a lot of fucked up shit with the males, and this thing is picking off. And I don't think you can add the black man up in there, but because this is literally a survey of white men. But then again, on the other hand, because we are now basically the same essence of the same crackers and all, you see what I'm saying? This book is dealing with a lot of serious shit in her book, Ishtar Rising. In his book, Ishtar Rising. Which I think, in actuality, by him being a part of the Illuminati, He said, what is a man writing this stuff about him being a part of the Illuminati and also being a part of the OT, Crawley's OTO, which is a sex magic group. He got a lot of this particular information from a lot of other documents. But anyway, that's his book, Ishtar Rising. He has another one, Prometheus Rising. But this one is the latest thing he did in years outside of a novel. When he writes on Illuminati, the majority of the stuff other than the Cosmic Trigger or Neil Wilber's book, Illuminoid, which he also wrote the introduction, he usually writes the novel thing because he's a prolific writer. But this particular book is straight up what's going down. Now, the key is, when I got this particular book, the first night it validated some stuff that I said on the Necronomicon tape, Necronomicon and Moorish Science, as well as I did one Moorish Science, I did one at Valentine House on some Moorish Science, which I also documented. He validates some stuff in here, which it goes exactly what I'm talking about based on this New Age thing. So now the New Age people understand if they trace everything back, it goes back to Africa. So they're trying to say, now we got a spiritual part too, it's called Celtic. Now, in here, he busts that up because I want to show you something. In here, he's writing on none other than Noble Drew Ali. You think there's some bullshit out there about the Noble Drew Ali, but why the hell is he up in this white man's book? You see what I'm saying? And he's writing on Noble Drew Ali, and he says this. But I want to read just a little bit of Noble Drew Ali was born probably, Timothy Drew probably in 1886 among the Cherokee Indians. Nothing about him is certain, but the Cherokees did often adopt runaway slaves. Some say his parents were slaves. Others say that he was from a Moorish, he was Moorish, and his father was Moorish and his mother was Cherokee. And they go and give you the whole science about that. Now, this is the key. He mentions a guy in here by the name of Bob Quinn. Now, he mentions that, but he has another part where he mentions, after he goes and explains what Noble Drew Ali and basically, the Moorish Science Temple and all this, he mentions something on an article that came out in January of this year, The Fortune Times. There's a book called it's a magazine called The Fortune Times. But those magazines, they're sold not in just the regular newsstands, but you ever have, they got this place where they got like these stores that just sell all these magazines. It's like, magazine stands. And anyway, the Fortune Times, you can get it in there, would sell all these magazines. And might I add, we need to also see if the book Covert Action and World Report is still being published, which used to tell you all the stuff what the government is into. But in the Fortune Times that came out in January, this says, and I want to read this to you, which bears witness to what I was talking about based on this particular, I'm going to read something else in a few minutes, based on this particular Celtic thing, but I'm going to lead into it with this particular article. Recently in Fortune Times examined a strange case of some people called the Melungeons, or Melungenus. The Melungenus is a group of racial stock in the southern states who have been subject of controversy for centuries. They have European features and black skin. Local Indians never regarded them as white and said that they were before white people came. That's the same thing the Moorish Science people say. This is what the damn crackers saying. So every now and then, all the little brothers on the street with the turbans, you know what I'm saying, with the bow ties and with the fezzes, and all of a sudden you thought was stupid. Well, not you, but the people thought was stupid. Now these white people come up saying the same shit. You see what I'm saying? Now look at this. The Indians never regarded them as white. Say they were before white people. That's what the Moors say. F.T. Fortune Times' most plausible theory is that the Melungeons was a mixed Moorish, Turkish, and Portuguese ancestry. Perhaps they were also part of a pool of Noble Drew Ali's family lore and gave him some of his same ideas. Fortune Times also suggests that Abraham Lincoln may have been from some Melungeon ancestry. That's J.A. Rogers. Bam! This is what the goddamn cracker saying. So this ain't the black people now saying this no more. This is what the white man's saying. That even Abraham Lincoln, the first five, the 5 presidents, we got about 6 of them now. J.A. Rogers did that in the 20s or something. And, you know, even Blair did one. But I'm trying to say, here's what the white people are saying. Now, the key is, this what goes in where I know this bears witness. To say that this is also is good. Some shit validate your own self. Now, over the years, I told you to go get a movie called The Secrets of Rowan Ish. And in this, The Secrets of Rowan Ish. And in this movie, it talks about the Irish people on some island, which the British came in and made them change their name, made them so they couldn't outlaw their language. But say these people were born of some black seals, and if you get the skin off this seal, every now and then this seal comes up and takes the skin off, and it's this white woman. And if you get this seal from this, the skin from this seal, she will have to be with you for years, and basically she bears children. And this seal bore all these children in Ireland, and they're called the darkies. And yeah, you see, I got the dark, and it was a white person saying, see my dark hair and my dark eyes. Even in the movie Commitment, they were trying to start a soul band in Ireland, and they say, well, they tell us that the Irish are the black people of Europe. Okay? But in this movie, they talk about these seals and these dark people being birthed from these seals. Secrets of Rowan Ish, which also leads the next year to doggone Braveheart. And how the British had to say, if we cannot kill them off, we'll breed them off. The Braveheart ship was a fight based on that black element in Scotland, okay? Which is the Highlander. Gotta go get both Highlander 1 and Highlander 2 and get the director's cut. If you're either gonna rent it or buy it, but you want to get the director's cut of both Highlander 1 and Highlander 2. There is a Highlander 3, and there's something about that, too, but I'll get into that later on. But the whole thing with the Highlander is the black man, the immortal. The sword comes from Salamanca, which is the first Moorish university. The sword is Salamanca. Sean Connery was playing an Egyptian. But in the movie Highlander 1, he said, we're supposed to be immortal and go through life, basically, and don't die. Well, you do that, too. You just reincarnate over and over. That's what immortality is. We're all immortal. You just get a new body every couple of years. Until we come together with the quickening, or we come together at the gathering, someplace in a faraway land. Now, this is in Scotland where Sean Connery is telling me, someplace in a faraway land, not even invented yet. We're going to come together with the gathering. And that's talking about America. And they came together and and they had the quickening, and only one can be the Highlander. That's all the black man shit. Now,